Welcome to the news on Zodiac with me, Robert Karua. The headlines. Malawi records 2 suspected cases of Mpox. Global Fund offers 9 billion kwacha to Malawi for implementation of HIV, TB and malaria interventions. Latest IPOR study recommends telephone interviews as the most effective for data collection during natural disasters. And in religion, CCAP Church secures 196 of the 250 million kwacha needed for its centenary celebrations this weekend. We've got these and many more. Please do stick around. We start with news that Health Minister Kumbidze Kandodo Chiponda says the country has detected 2 suspected cases of Mpox. The cases involve a 31-year-old man isolated at Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital and a 17-year-old boy being managed at home. Both are in Blantyre with no history of international travel. Dr. Kevin Imponda, Director of Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital, says the results for the first patient are expected in by this Tuesday. Malawi has received 525 million United States dollars grant, approximately 900 billion kwacha from Global Fund for implementation of HIV, TB and malaria interventions in the country from this year to 2027. Ministry of Finance spokesperson Williams Banda has confirmed the development and said there will be a grant signing ceremony between Malawi government and Global Fund officials later this month. Kasim Aubi has more in this report.
The $525 million, which is about 900 billion kwacha grant, according to a statement from the Ministry of Health, is for HIV, TB and malaria interventions from 1st July 2024 to 30th June 2027. It says $419 million is for TB and HIV interventions, while $84.4 million is for malaria activities, and the funds, among others, target to building resilient, sustainable systems for health. Williams Banda is a spokesperson for the Ministry of Finance, which manages resources from Global Fund on behalf of Malawi government.
I can confirm that the Global Fund has approved the $525 million grant towards the TB, malaria, and the HIV, the government of Malawi. We are grateful to the Global Fund.
Meanwhile, health rights activist Maziko Matemba has commended Global Fund for the support, but urged both government and the civil society to ensure the funds are used on intended purposes only.
So we hope our government will continue as they have done before, because I've done before in adhering to the grant agreement of the Global Fund, so that Global Fund in future can continuously go to support. But also internally, as the civil society, we have other civil society organizations who will be allocated some of these funds to ensure that there's accountability, but also there's the demand of services.
United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 3 aims to prevent needless suffering from preventable diseases and premature death by focusing on key targets that boost health of the country's population by 2030. For Zodiac in Lilongwe, this is Kasim Aubi reporting.
Minister of Tourism Vela Kantukule says government will ensure that an independent investigation is instituted into the light aircraft accident which claimed lives of 2 tourists in Nkota on Tuesday. The minister says the accident is shocking, but praised the support rendered by the communities, government agencies and other players to the Dutch survivor. Kantukule said this after visiting the survivor Charlotte Lemstra, who is admitted to Nkota District Hospital. Kantukule has more.
Well, I'm sad that the accident happened, but I'm very impressed with our service providers. I think you have seen how she was taken care of here. Malawi is a warm heart of Africa, and she tells me that from the crash site, the community, the way the community was coordinated to rescue them, the way people were mobilized to assist her and then take her to the hospital, and the way she was even received here at the hospital, everything, she's in awe of what people have done, or the services that have been rendered unto her. And I'm very, very happy and impressed with our services here at the Nkota District Hospital, and also everyone, the staff that are working here, parks, our partners. I think you are aware that we are working with African Parks in terms of the Nkota Game Reserve and and all of that. So everyone, all the hands were on deck to ensure that we provide support that we could provide. And now I'm even hearing that even at the crash site, the communities have helped to ensure that we are retrieving the dead bodies, but also their luggage and the actual plane. So for me, this is what it is to be Malawian, and I'm so much very impressed.
District commissioners and directors of finance have been asked to stop bowing down to political pressure to embezzle public funds. Speaking during the quarterly coordination meeting in Blantyre, local government minister Richard Chimwendo-Banda said Malawi must see progress in development projects. The minister added that the governance or to enable service delivery, GESD funding has been doubled from $20 to $40 million by the World Bank to implement projects aimed at transforming lives and ordinary Malawians. Christopher Sunday has more in this report.
Local government minister Richard Chimwendo-Banda says as the political atmosphere will be heating up ahead of the next year's polls, district councils should remain focused in implementing all lined-up development projects. Chimwendo-Banda says no politician should block the implementation of projects. The minister also asked district commissioners and directors of finance not to bow down to political pressure to use shortcuts and embezzle public funds.
We want to make sure that we improve service delivery, the welfare of our people on the ground. And in many cases, our DCs are doing a good job. But there are times when politics comes in, and then you find that politicians are trying to intervene and disturb our progress. And I was telling politicians who are present in this meeting that we must never interfere with the work of our professionals.
Minister Chimwendo-Banda adds that he expects all local authorities to increase speed and efficiency in their work. Hadison Kupanga is district commissioner for Tiolo.
Because if I entail to listen to politics, then I will not be discharging my duties as a government holder of the policy. I have to make sure that I refrain from listening to politicians, thereby making sure that I pass on the resolutions which are in conformity with the government regulations.
Reporting for Zodiac, this is Christopher Sunday.
National Registration Bureau NRB is upbeat that every Malawian eligible to vote will be issued with national identity card ahead of the next year's polls, despite facing funding challenges. Its principal secretary Mphatso Sambo was reacting to concerns by some legislators that they use their resources to aid the bureau with resources such as generators ID registration exercise. Well, during a national elections consultative forum in Lilongwe, some legislators accused government of not providing enough resources to the bureau and fears eligible voters may not access the cards. We have this report by Western Gota.
During the National Elections Consultative Forum on Tuesday, Nsanje Lalanje parliamentarian Gladys Ganda alleged that legislators are taking it upon themselves to provide funds for different purposes, including buying fuel for the NRB generators used in national registration exercise. Ganda said that this is forcing them to use the resources because of the fear that if not, people in respective areas may not access the identity card and therefore not be eligible for voter registration.
We have registration of voters that's not coming out smoothly. We have issues to do with the MPs. It was clear that we have a challenge in terms of disbursement of funds. You can have figures in the budget, but what matters is the disbursement. Are we disbursing the budget in time? So as Budget and Finance Committee of Parliament, to make sure that whatever is budgeted for MEC and NRB is being disbursed in time so that the services should not be affected. We are afraid here that there's so many issues that are happening.
However, NRB Principal Secretary Mphatso Sambo said Ganda's remarks are not entirely true because government has in fact provided more resources than ever before, evidence being that the Bureau has registered many people than compared to years before, but was quick to say stakeholders indeed assist.
We know in any implementation there are challenges, but sometimes we need to know where are those challenges coming from, what's the root. Once we understand the root, we are able to solve the challenges. Where there's no electricity, we are providing generators as a solution. And those generators are also provided with enough fuel. But you know, this is equipment. In any case, sometimes the fuel might have been underestimated.
According to Sambo, the Bureau encounters network and power challenges during the mop-up and outreach registration exercise, but to even carry out these, it means funds are available. I'm Western Guta in Lilongwe.
Let's look at how the Malawi kwacha is faring against major currencies in the world, according to the Reserve Bank of Malawi. That's how the Malawi kwacha is faring against the major currencies of the world, according to the Reserve Bank of Malawi. You're watching the news on Zodiac with me, Robert Karwa. We'll be back with more soon after this.
Bella Vista Private Primary School in Chinteche wishes to inform the general public that they are receiving applications for the 2024-2025 academic year. Enroll your child today and provide them with a world-class education that fosters academic excellence, creativity, and critical thinking. Our experienced teachers and state-of-art facilities create a supportive and inclusive environment that allows learners to thrive. Places are available from Standard 1 up to Standard 8. Bella Vista Private Primary School has boarding facilities from Standard 4 to Standard 8. Our current pass rate is 99%. For more information, contact us on 0888 347 246, 0982 919 717, and 0888 406 955. Bella Vista Private Primary School is located at Bandawi, near Sunbridge Chinteche Inn in Nkhata. Bella Vista School of Champions, aiming at instilling skills, knowledge, and expertise among learners.
Moving on with the news. A latest study by Institute of Public Opinion and Research, IPO, has revealed that telephone interviews are the most effective for data collection during natural disasters. IPO's Director of Training and Programs, Professor Michael Chasukwa, said of the method is that it is affordable as you reduce the cost of data collection. The remarks were made in Lilongwe during dissemination of findings of a survey on Malawi rapid mortality. Chasukwa has more.
We can use telephone surveys to generate data that is going to inform policy making. We always need data, accurate data, but over time there's been skepticism about using telephones and then generating correct data. So let's give it a chance that even telephone interviews would be very important for us to collect data that is important for making decisions, and it's cheaper that way. In research you need resources, so telephone interviews would help us reduce the cost of data collection, but at the same time collecting data that is important for us to make decisions. I would also say that in our country we need to do a lot of estimations to do with that data.
Meanwhile, Head of Research for National Planning Commission, Andrew Jamali, has held the research, arguing that it is critical for the nation to achieve its development blueprint, Malawi 2063.
This is a very important research dissemination forum, and you can see that most of the studies are talking about methodological issues. a very important aspect in terms of uptake of research outputs is the credibility of the methodology. And also in that kind of speaking, when we talk about credibility of the methodology, we are also looking at the cost effectiveness of the methodology given the context within which that particular kind of analysis is taking place. For Malawi, this is very key. One, it is aligned to the National Research Agenda, which we actually launched in 2022 under the pillar of human capital development, specific focus area of population and the human development, specifically addressing the issues of maternal and child health.
In religion, the Church of Central African Presbyterian CCP General Assembly says it has realized 196 million kwacha of the 250 million kwacha budget towards its centenary celebrations scheduled for this weekend in Lilongwe. General Secretary for the General Assembly, Reverend Mai Chilongozi, says they are optimistic to meet the target as people continue to provide funds towards the celebrations at which President Lazarus Chakwera will be in attendance. He explains.
On 24th, we have a march and a laying of stone at the office. Then we'll march to Civil Stadium. We'll showcase what we have done as synods in different sectors: health sector, education, evangelism, and development. Then on Sunday, we have the worship service, and we will have the president as the guest of honor who will be present. The CCP is so committed to development, to working with the government in development. We are working with the government in different sectors. Education, we are doing education from early childhood education, primary education, secondary education, universities. So far we have 4 universities in Malawi: Livingstone University, Nkhani Synod University, Blantyre Synod University, and Zomba Theological University. So even in the health sector, we have made an impact because we have mission hospitals and other health facilities from the north to the south of the country.
Catholic Relief Services CRS has launched technical entrepreneur and vocational education and training incubation hubs to support development of student entrepreneurs graduating from technical colleges in creating jobs. Speaking during the launch at Lilongwe Technical College, CRS lead integration official Crispin Magombo said this is in response to the need for changing the narrative of teaching and training youths to be employed to creating jobs.
The initiative has been super successful. We at CRS are working with the youth, and we saw a gap that needs to be addressed for the so many youths that we are dealing with. As a country, you know that we have channeled our education system towards teaching and training youths to be able to be employed. We're changing the narrative so that instead of youth being employed, they start to become employers. And this incubation program was meant to address that gap, where skills now need to meet what the market requirements. And so at CRS, what we did was to do a market assessment in terms of what is required in the industry and establish what the gap has been and address that. So we have started with 50 graduates at CRS on this incubation hub. 25 of them are coming from Lilongwe Technical School and 25 are coming from Namitete. These are the seed that we are starting with. And what we are hoping to do is that they have been trained enough so that they can go out and address the industry needs.
TVET Authority Regional Service Center Manager Joseph Sambaya says the authority has partnered with National Economic Empowerment Fund NEF and some commercial banks to support students graduating from technical colleges to actualize their ideas and employ others.
For the youth that are graduating from technical colleges, the authority has partnered with the NEF, the National Economic Empowerment Fund, and the FDH Bank, so that those that intend to go into self-employment or entrepreneurship can access a loan from these two institutions to allow them invest in their businesses and move forward. This arrangement has been made, appreciating the fact that when you graduate from college, usually you may not have the collateral and many other requirements that a bank would require to give you a loan. And as TVETA, we partnered with these institutions, NIF and FTH Bank, so that they can create a tailor-made product specific for the youth that are graduating from technical colleges. The incubation hubs that have been set up at Namitete and Lilongwe, and the training that has been offered to instructors in these two colleges, enough to prepare the colleges to be able to run these processes beyond the project. And that is already an opportunity for us to be able to sustain the impact of the project moving forward. At the same time, we have seen the partnership. Many banks came. We know at some point these young people may want to access a loan, and so these institutions are also there to make it easy for them to access such a facility. But at the same time, they have also been connected to other institutions. We have heard of CIMED, we have heard of Malawi Bureau of Standards. All these are there to support these young people with their journey into entrepreneurship. And we believe beyond the project, we should be good to sustain the impact.
We now go to sports. Organizers of the annual Mr. Zomba bodybuilding and powerlifting competition have secured 500,000 kwacha to hold this year's event on October 15th. Bright Limani, main organizer of the event, says they failed to hold the event on July 6th due to financial constraints. Limani explains.
We have received the support from Mr. Atusai Maupihu. Mr. Atusai Maupihu carried out some form of fundraising activities in Lilongwe amongst the fitness goers in Lilongwe, those people who like fitness, and they managed to raise an amount of 500,000, which is $500,000, and this money has been pumped into Mr. Zomba competition. Actually, Mr. Zomba competition was supposed to take place on 6th of July, but we shifted it from 6th of July to 15th October 2024, simply because we didn't have enough resources in July. Yeah, basically we are about to reach the end of our preparations. We are in a process of finalizing everything. Actually, we are still looking for more people to join as the sponsors, and we are still speaking to potential sponsors within Zomba City and outside Zomba to make sure that we add the numbers of sponsors. We have a deficit of 300,000 kwacha, but we still want to actually increase money for the tournament so that our boys receive hefty rewards after they have won in different categories.
And that's about what we had time for in this edition of news. Before we leave you, a recap of the headline stories. Global Fund offers 900 billion kwacha to Malawi for implementation of HIV, TB and malaria interventions. Malawi records 2 suspected cases of mpox. Latest IPO study recommends telephone interviews as the most effective data collection during natural disasters. And in religion, CCP Church secures 196 of the 250 million kwacha needed for its centenary celebrations this weekend. Visit zodiacmalawi.com for more. My name is Robert Kalwa. Thanks for watching.